Hey guys, welcome back. Justin, I'm feeling good, baby. I mean, we've got the season's over. I mean, come on, we're going to announce who won the Trophy Doe contest at the end of this thing. I got 3 entries. Last year, Justin said I wouldn't shoot as many deer this year because I never shoot any deer.
Did I actually
I
say
think
that?
he said that. We're going to go back in time.
People like to make up things that I said.
And
they're just like, you said that thing that one time. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't say that, but okay.
Off the air, Justin had on many occasions said, you say you're going to shoot some deer and then you never shoot any does. You did say that.
That's true. That's true. Some people said you lost your killer instinct.
I'm telling you, my killer instinct is going to be back even stronger this year. With a little bit of luck, I'm going to be closing on a new piece of property. I will announce that now that I finally have an actual executed contract. So we got some chance, Justin, that maybe I'm going to be in the heart and the soul of a good area. Maybe start finding some bigger ones. But in the meantime,
poor thing, you've had a hard time finding good deer to kill, boy. Poor Todd.
Oh, poor Justin too, guys.
All right, guys.
We should go back a couple years ago in the days when one of Justin's local spots, and I'm pointing this way because it is this way, as much information I was going to give you. Luckily, you guys don't know where we're sitting or how this building is positioned. And he'd be like, oh man, this one spot we got, there's pheasant hunters in there, and there's this, and there's that.
Every year it's different, Graf. It's just like your farm.
And then all of a sudden, dude, he passes the biggest deer of his life. Biggest deer of his life.
Years ago.
Doesn't matter. He still did it, and he could have had it down. So anyhow, right now we are going to focus on right here. Tommy Alford, I got to say it. I'm going to say it. This is going to tick some people off, but one of our top members of the team, man, who is freaking on the money always, it seems like.
He's a deer
dude, the guy is, he is.
All right, let's shut up and let's jump into this hunt with Tom Alford right now.
All right, here we go. Today it is December 10th, and we are out doing a little hunting. 4th and long. This is last weekend of bow hunting. You can see behind me, there's not any food plots. Radishes, turnips, corn, beans, all that good stuff. There's none of that around here. It's just browse. But believe it or not, a lot of these nurseries or just remote woodlots have a lot of good native food sources. As I look around right now, I can see a whole bunch of them. There's a Bradford pear. The Bradford pear produces a bunch of berries. This time of the year they start to fall off. It's an invasive species. There's red twig and yellow twig dogwood. Another awesome browse. Deer love it. I can see through here there's a little bit of what's called teasel. Teasel is just a big thistle with kind of like a ball on the top, a spiky ball. But the deer eat the leaves. It's almost like a lamb's ear. It's kind of textured almost. And it stays green for a long time. This is a forsythia. That's pretty rare, but the other one that looks like that is honeysuckle. There's a lot of honeysuckle in here, and basically it produces a berry. The deer love the berries. They will eat the leaves as well when there is when they're green, but obviously they've all fallen off by now. Locust pods. That's what these deer are actually in here eating. There's some trees that I've already walked by over there that are still holding locust pods. They absolutely love them. They're really high in protein. There's actually like a bean in the center of them. So that's a good one. There's a lot of random like CRP weeds and stuff that I don't know the names of that the deer will browse on. But you gotta look a little bit harder, especially in these pieces of properties where we're not allowed to do food plots. Another one that I can see up ahead of me is, cedars. Now a lot of the cedar trees got burned this year. They're kind of looking brown, but if they stay green, they do produce berries, and the deer will browse the tips off of them. That's another really good one. People say the white pines. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of it. Deer browsing around here, we don't have a lot of white pines. And the other one that I'm actually going to be sitting close to is right ahead. Always overlooked. Willow thickets. Willow thickets. The deer browse them like crazy, and what they browse are those little single stems that come out of the ground. They'll nip the tips of the tops of those off right now. But you know, when you look at it on the map or when you look around, you don't see a lot of food sources, but they are here. I mean, I've just rambled off about 8 or 9 of them, and that's a good one that I've got in front of me here. Another good one too is the crabapple trees. Crabapple trees are all over this area. Viburnum, it's like a wild, what they call an autumn jazz viburnum, grows all over the place out here, and it's got berries on it, so the deer will definitely be looking for those berries. But you know, it's just pretty random. Like I said, this spot is pretty random. And the other cool thing that I noticed is there's a pond, and the deer are pawing on top of the pond, trying to get a drink of water or just licking the top of it or whatever they're doing, but they're out walking on the ice. So, not your traditional, you know, most people think, hey, you gotta hunt a water source when it's really hot. We're gonna hunt it when it's frozen. So. Alright, well, we're officially hunting. It's about 2:45. Wind is a little stiffer and it's a little chillier than I thought it was going to be. But as you can see here, this is that pond that I'm basically hunting over. You can see there's a crazy amount of deer tracks out on the water. Those little springs or those little hot spots where the muskrats are there, pawing up and drinking. I've got this little willow thicket over here to my right. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this is not the traditional spot, but hey, you never know. And like I said, this time of the year, the deer are so nomadic in the area that we live in. We'll see a herd, you know, but when I say herd, I mean like 4, 5, 6 deer, maybe a mile down the road. The next day, you'll see them 2 miles down that road. The next day, they'll be back. 3 days later, they'll be 2 miles south. They just bounce from these little woodlots to little woodlots to little woodlots. And the home core areas are they're huge ranges. I'd say on average, most of our bucks probably stay in a 5-mile square area. And we know that because I've got so many friends that hunt in and around the area. Miller's hunting down the road and he'll get some of the same deer that we've got, and he's probably 7 miles away. So. The other thing I wanted to mention was if any deer, steps in front of me, they're probably getting shot. I don't care if it's got one little antler. I'm probably going to shoot it. To be honest with you, I just want to shoot deer and eat them. It's taken me 25 years to figure out how to cook venison, how to prepare it. And now that I started doing it myself and I bought myself a smoker and I've incorporated a whole bunch of new recipes, I and my family now absolutely love eating deer meat. Last night we had venison tacos and it was amazing. The night before I had backstraps. Now we don't eat it every night, but we're eating a lot of it. My freezer right now has 3 steaks left in it. So I'm out here to just shoot a deer and just shoot a deer for the freezer. Like, I feel like the hunting industry has completely forgot about that guy. The guy that just wants to put meat in his freezer and doesn't care about antlers and trophy management. I mean, obviously, I care about antlers. I love antlers. Antlers are awesome. Big bucks are amazing. They're so dang stinking smart, though. They're impossible for me to shoot. Sometimes I just want to just shoot a deer, you know? Put some meat in the freezer. So, all deer, any deer, if a deer comes by, it's getting shot. BBD, baby, BBD. Oh, yes. I just drilled a giant 10-pointer. Oh my gosh. It's such a long shot. This place is such a long shot. One big giant 10-pointer. Yeah! Absolutely smoked him. Made the most perfect shot ever. He was drinking. Oh my gosh, it was perfect. He came out here. He walked on this line. He sat here and drank out of that muskrat hole. I called it. I could see these deer tracks on the ice. Yes! Yes! Oh, I gotta call the boy. He's gonna be so excited. He didn't come out hunting with me today because we had our cousins coming over. He was doing some hockey at the house, teaching him how to skate. Oh, I gotta call him. BBD, baby. I shot a huge 10-pointer. Yeah, huge. Yeah, huge. Huge. I smoked him. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Alright.
Alright, I just got back to the truck. I had to get out of there. It was so stinking cold. I'm gonna go home, grab Jack, and we're gonna pick up the trail. I have really good thoughts about this. I think the shot was perfect pass through. The deer ran off, but where he went, there's a big ditch down there, and sometimes they get in that ditch and they run it. So I don't know. I think he's dead right there, but no sense in getting crazy. So we're gonna go back, get the little dude, and then we'll come back and pick up this trail. Bowhunt or die, baby.
All right, well, we're back at the scene. Arrow had a clean pass through. I'm shooting this big triple X. Blood looks really good. And like I was saying earlier, that shot looks absolutely perfect in my opinion. So let's get in there. We've got right here. We've got a ton of blood on impact. I mean, if you look at that, I mean, he's just absolutely spraying. This is going to be easy. These are the fun ones, the ones in the snow. I don't know if there's bubbles in there because everything's frozen, but like I said, that placement was awesome. Double one. Oh, I see his legs. I see his legs. I see his legs.
Oh yeah.
See him?
Uh-huh.
Made it about 60 yards. Deer. Big 10. Holy cow.
Dude, that thing is insane.
Shoot.
Darn it.
In a matter of minutes, the coyotes got him. Oh, this deer's huge.
Dude, this deer's awesome.
Awesome. What a giant. What a giant. Look at the mass.
All right, well, this is officially going to be my last buck tag of the, well, it's the start of my 2021 season, actually. I've never, ever shot a buck this late. This is definitely going to feel pretty darn good right here. Make it officially. Awesome deer. This deer is just a phenomenal buck. I mean, big mass, great beams, big brows. It's funny, I came in here, this year I did not run a lot of trail cameras over in this spot. It's close to my house. I can kind of monitor it as I drive. But every time I came in here, I'd jump this deer or see him, or early season I would see him. Actually, before the season started, and then everything vanished. This place was an absolute ghost town. Even through the rut, there was very little activity here, just because it doesn't hold a lot of does. But like I was saying earlier, this place I always shed hunt because the deer worked their way back in here late season. And this is the one I was hoping for. I mean, he's just a big, beautiful deer. I don't know how. I have no history. This is a new piece. I'm all over the place. And you know, I'll be honest. I was a little upset when I saw that the coyotes had got to him after only 15 minutes. But you know what? I've spent my whole season getting my son Jack involved in hunting, every aspect of it, shooting, practicing, hunting, outdoors, tree stands, on the ground. He's had a very successful season, and there was no way I wasn't going to do this without him. And like I was saying earlier, I saw him disappear from the tree stand. I had a good feeling, but right over here behind us there's a big ditch, and a lot of times the deer run down in that ditch, and I just thought maybe he went down there. So I didn't see him, so I felt like giving him some time would have been fine, but it's just amazing. They were able to get on him, super quick, and I'm not worried about the meat or anything. It's not spoiled. They got in on the entrance hole and a little into the hindquarters, but he'll be fine. He's still going to eat good, and I'm super excited to have just a giant trophy buck sitting behind him right now. So 1 week left of the season. This is going to conclude my buck hunting. We still have another buck tag for Jack, and he's been trying really hard with his bow and arrow, so we'll get him out a couple more times, and hopefully we can shoot one more. But really appreciate you guys all watching and sticking with us. We're just like you guys out there, just doing our best to maintain life and hunt these beautiful animals. So like I said, appreciate you guys for watching, and Bowhunt or die, baby.
Justin, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, not really, because you started. You already.
No. This is first on the outtake.
So here's what I'll say about Tommy and his hunt, and this is something that I think I've personally witnessed people doing the last couple of years that I found interesting, and that's in-season scouting. And I think it's one of those things that a lot of people downplay, especially when you're using a lot of trail cameras. Tommy's been a guy the last couple of years, him and I hunt together a lot. We talk every day, and he's, kind of, I don't want to say down on trail cameras at times, but he says, you can't, trail cameras are not the end-all, be-all of telling you where the deer are at, when they're there, and what's going on. You have to put boots on the ground, and Tommy's better at this than just about anybody that I know. I mean, he stayed out of that spot. He went in there and he scouted it. Every week to 2 weeks, he would slip in there. He would check out the sign, figure out what was going on, and decide if he was going to hunt there or not. And when he decided late season he was going to try to kill a deer, he needed to know where they were at. And the snow obviously makes that significantly easier, right? When you've got snow on the ground. But he, to his credit, he didn't use trail cameras. He went in there, he scouted. He had bumped that deer multiple times, and he wasn't really looking for that particular deer that day. As he said in the video, he was looking for any deer that walked by. He just wanted some meat for the freezer.
That sounds like you're not hunting.
It happened to be that buck that came by. But the other thing Tommy doesn't mention is I forget if it was 10 or 12 hunts leading up to that hunt. I don't think he saw a single deer.
He didn't.
Anywhere. And that's hard. That's a difficult mental challenge when you go time in and time out, and you're just not seeing any animals, especially late season. It's cold. You don't have a good food source, as we would typically think of it. But he stuck to it. He knew eventually if he put in the time, it was going to work. And that deer happened to stop right in front of him, made a perfect shot on it. I mean, what a way to end a season. That's how you do it.
I'm going to take that a little step further,
Okay.
Justin. because Tommy and I were having a conversation about this harvest after he got the deer, and both Tommy and I have picked up on something that I think can be a sweet little tip. Deer still need to get water, right? I mean, you think about how deer get most of their water.
Sure.
Right? And they just don't go eating snow. But I'm going to tell you a little tip here that him and I have kind of caught on to, and I've noticed it after I put in a woodland pond on one of my pieces of property, even in the late season. And a good friend of mine, Alex, told me about this a couple years ago. He killed a 200-inch deer where this buck came in to a water hole, right, and started scraping the snow off and then started licking the ice to be able to get some water.
Sure.
I've seen it on my farm with the little woodland pond that I put in. And no, guys, obviously if you got a stream somewhere and you got open water, it's fine. But Tommy was hunting near a pond where there's cattails and where there's muskrats. And a lot of times where those muskrats have their dens, there's pockets of open water.
Sure.
And Tommy filmed those deer going there and drinking the water in that pond. So if you're lucky enough to find a water source in a late season like that, it's money.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that not a lot of people, talk about. So again, congratulations to Tommy. Heck of a way to end the season. So again, congrats to him. Actually, guys, congratulations to all of our team members. Had a great year this year. Killed a lot of deer.
Woo!
A lot of really good deer. Speaking of which, we're going to end our trophy doe contest for our team. Last week we ended it for the public at large, but of course we always have our trophy doe contest for our guys. Just a fun competition amongst them. So this year,
Look at that though, Justin Czar. Come on, look at that.
What's
I'm
that?
on there 3 times this year.
I know, but I don't think
no,
you
not
cracked
40
the top half
No, I
with
know.
any of those 3. So
I will not. I'm
easy.
not waiting this year. That's my new strategy for this year. Shoot them early. They're heavier
Well,
early.
I will say that Tim Ainsworth has unseated. Johnny Herman was last year's champ. Tim Ainsworth beat Johnny out this year with a 142.8 pound field dress doe, which is an absolute beast.
It's almost 2 times the size of the one I got in Kentucky.
I think Kurt called it a baby hippo, something like that, is what I saw in Kurt's video. So congratulations to Tim Ainsworth. He may not have killed a buck this year, but he killed the biggest doe on the team. Next up, we're going to jump into the Ask the Experts question brought to you by LancasterArchery.com. This one comes in from Jeremy Highland, who says, I'm wondering how I can learn some of the basics for hunting, like scouting, finding the right places to hunt, and even how to hang a stand. I was hoping you could point me in the right direction. Mr. Graff, point away. Where can Jeremy learn the basics of bow hunting?
There's only one place to go. Go to our website, bowhunting.com. We've got a whole 101 section. We're putting a lot of effort into that section even this year. We have in the years past, but we're even adding more content to it. I mean, pretty much anything you want to know, we've answered it there. And I know actually one of Brandon's tasks is to go back on some of these videos that we've done, find where we've answered questions and start plugging in little video answers as well, so it's not just text and writing.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Go to bowhunting.com, look for the Bow Hunt 101 section. There's a lot of great information out there, both on archery, how to gear, how to shoot, stuff like that, as well as tips on things like you said, scouting, where to hang your stand, how to hang your stand, how to do it safely, all those types of things. So make sure you guys check that out. Jeremy, we appreciate the question. Last thing for this episode, it's going to be our final trophy photos for season 11 of Bow Hunt or Die. Todd's already picked the winner, but let's read the names and let's see what you guys think.
Alex Erickson,
Dan Rush,
Jake Massey,
Matt Schmitz,
Will Tech.
and Matt Schrock.
All right, guys, I know we get a lot of, I don't know if we do
I
this on
didn't
purpose.
even look at him this week. So
I know, well, we get a lot of criticism because sometimes people say that we change our mind and all that. Guys, listen, it's
this is a
straightforward.
hard thing.
This is a hard thing. Like, this is one of the hardest things we have to do on a daily basis. I mean, this is not, or a weekly
It's a rough
basis.
life we're living, Graf. Hardest thing I had to do was pick a winner for the trophy contest.
Well, we start off by remembering to tell everyone, guys, you're supposed to, cover it up, make it look good, hide the blood. But you know what? I'm giving it to Matt. Matt's the winner, man.
Man, who?
Matt Schmitz. Wait a minute. Was he on here? Yeah, he's on there.
Right
Good.
The snow buff.
Dude, he did a great job, man. Look, he gutted the deer, but he took the time, put some snow up in there. Looks good. Will, it's not bad. You worked at it. But I can see your foot, and but don't, dude. He cut this. I mean, unless our guys cut the tips of his rack off, You know, blame Brad if this guy didn't win, but the tips of his antlers
I
are
got
cut off.
criticized for my foot showing in one of my trophy
I know the
photos
foot
one time.
showing over here. Jake, you could have cleaned his mouth better. Matt, there's literally some lung blood coming out. You shoot better than I do, but unfortunately I can see the lung blood. Dan, same thing. Dan, you shoot like I shoot, forward, but that kills him fast. And Alex, you definitely need to bring some paper towels with. There's a lot of blood everywhere. Guys, congratulations. Will, we're sending you a package too because
Oh.
Czar said that was still a good photo. So there you go.
Wonderful. So Matt Schmidt and Will Tech, make sure you get your
I
information.
only did
to
that
us.
to save Will from going after Brad with the way that I
No,
blame
he'd
it
go
on
after
Brad.
me and you. Everyone comes after us anyways.
Guys, until next time, shoot your bow, find property, find hunting leases, because before you know it, you're going to snap your fingers and be doing this all over again.
It's going to be shed season and turkey season coming right up, so stick with us. We'll be back very, very soon with some more great bow hunting content. See you guys later. Thanks for watching Season 11. Bow Hunt or Die, baby.
I'm rolling.
Rolling, 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 rolling,
Are we doing that?
ride.
Okay, that's what we're doing. I was thinking like Limp Bizkit.
Biscuit, whatever you're talking
You
about
know
it.
who Limp Bizkit is?
No, I
You have
don't.
no idea.
No.
None. Name, if I said, Todd, I have $1 million cash, you have to name one Limp Bizkit song.
No.
You couldn't do it.
Do you know?
I know sort of who he is. I don't know any of his music.
You don't know one Limp
I'm
Bizkit
sure
song.
I've heard it. I could
You
Brad-
could- if I gave you
Brad might not have even
same
been like.
question,
Brad was like
$1
3.
million, and I said, Brad, name one Limp Bizkit song.
I could probably guess a random word or phrase and maybe get one.
Brad was probably like 3 years old when like.
It doesn't matter. When was that? Yeah, it was late 90s, early 2000s.